Welcome back. This is Oldmanpoole trying to salvage a 2-1 out of this fantastic Drakehaven deck. We did not manage to get there in game one, although we were very, very close. Gonna go ahead and play here. This hand looks pretty good. I think it's worth considering not cycling actually on turn one, because we have so many cycling payoffs. It actually may not be correct to do that regularly. So we're just going to go ahead and keep, and we're just going to pass turn one, I'm pretty sure. Alright, let's see what my opponent's up to. Okay. Playing white, that usually means aggressive on some capacity. We'll see if it's going down the red-white. White-blue actually can be kind of defensive as well. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and play a Scorpion here and swing. Scorpion would have been a good draw last game against my opponents. Well, I guess no, it was first striking monstrosity. That was the problem all along. Alright, opponent not afraid to cycle here. He doesn't understand the true value of cycling as pump spells, though. Hieroglyphic Illumination. Opponent's still cycling hard. Okay. So here I think we'll swing. Cycle the Vizier of Tumbling Sands. Hope to hit a land, probably. So we'll swing in, and we'll go ahead and untap an island when we play it. And then worst comes to worst, we can play the Secret of Insight as well. Cycle. An island. Kill my opponent for an extra 1 point of damage. And hope to find our land here. Good. Okay. Even Initiate. That's a good one for sure. We will throw our Vizier in there. I imagine he won't block. So, don't think we actually want to play the Stir the Sands. I think we'd rather wait until we get up to all the zombies in the world. I think... Are we okay trading the Scorpion away? Probably rather not. Kind of like getting the beats in a little bit more. Although I'm sure he takes that trade, too. So maybe we do just play the Stir the Sands, and again, keep all of our cheap cycling in our hand. Maybe helps us find another land. I guess we should have done it before combat damage. That was a bit of a punt. I was in the middle of talking about it. So I guess we want to wait. I guess probably doesn't matter whether we have a land now or not. So maybe we'll wait one more turn. I guess if we draw 2 lands, yeah, it still doesn't matter. So pass back to my opponent. He's got to be a little bit curious what we could have in our hand for 4. Especially because we're not playing our lands as we go. Alright, and Wavering Initiate is not a bad one for sure. Gonna come in here? Looks like. And we draw our card. It is a horror. It's nice. Hopefully we hit a land here. Nope. Although I'm not opposed to a Vizier either. We're going to go ahead and swing with our Shadow Storm. Yeah. You want to swing with the zombie? Are we okay trading like that? Not the best, although Scorpion's probably not going to have tons of fantastic blocks, period. So maybe that's just alright. Most of the really big, scary threats that my opponent could have in white-blue are going to be in the air anyway. Yeah, I think we do something like this. And then the Vizier is just, oh, my opponent decided to block anyway. That's fine. And Vizier is going to be indestructible for a long time if we want it to be. I think that might have been one mistake we made in the first match. We probably should have been sandbagging our one-cost cyclers instead of just throwing them out. That probably would have been enough to win us game one. If we hadn't cycled in the first couple of turns. Yeah. I was still thinking of them in the more traditional sense, where these are just cards that the modal ability helps you get to your bigger, more expensive threats later on, instead of a card that really has like a bunch of value in the deck. Like if we'd had this in Drakehaven for a couple of cards at the end of last game, it would have been very good. Or Faith the Devoted, for instance. So we're gonna go ahead and swing with Shadow Storm Vizier. Yeah. And then we're gonna use the Seeker with the Faith. Probably. Yeah, we're gonna play Faith the Devoted here. And have the Seeker available, so we'll swing in with the Shadow Storm Vizier. And if he does decide to block, which seems unlikely, we'll still get to use the draw a card, discard a card, and activate the Faith. I guess he's gonna go for it. So let's draw. I don't think we're getting rid of any of these, even if we get a land. The Horror is just a cycling card, and we can almost burn my opponent out over, I guess, over 2 turns. Cast out. Targeting something. Shadow Storm? Okay, that's fine. Discard a card. I guess we'll get rid of one of our not actually a card cards. So, that's okay. Rip Compelling Argument. Our Vizier is super indestructible. And then we're going to go ahead and pay for our Faith here. Yes, I would like to pay for the ability. Drain my opponent a little bit. And pass back. And now my opponent's in a little bit of a rough position, because we can play 2 Cyclers next turn and drain 4, and then the following turn we can do it again. This is representing 8 damage, over a little bit of time, but 8 damage nonetheless. We'll take it if it comes in. Let's see what opponent's got. Hopefully it's nothing huge and expensive here, but might be 4. Okay, just bring back the Initiate. Seems fine. Okay, found a land. I think we're gonna play the Horror here over just cycling a bunch. The cycling comes later, I suppose. The Horror is pretty big here. My opponent's still signaling in for 3, but then he's kind of in danger zone on the other side. This represents 8 damage if unblocked, in addition to the life swing, so he's got to be able to respect that on defense. I think he has to. I guess he can always leave back the Unwavering Initiate and just swing with the Even Initiate. Floodwaters. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Bounce a couple. We'll trade if he comes in with the Initiate here. Yeah, that's fine. So getting some tempo value. Would still like to draw more lands here, I think. Yeah, final reward. Don't think we're gonna go ahead and play that. Could just get rid of the Avian Initiate. That does sort of seem to be his one and only threat, but the 3 damage is still not super scary. Kind of like just having the horror back out again. Opponent cycles Hieroglyphic Illumination, which we didn't get any of those now that I think about it. That would not have been a bad card to pick up. Trial of Knowledge. Okay. Pretty good. What if he's got the associated cartouche that he can play here as well? Even if not, Trial of Knowledge is a fine card. Gets you quite a bit of value. Pitches of Plains. Still plays another land. We'll follow up immediately anyway. He swings, he might have like another cast out. Okay, go ahead and play that there. Definitely going to swing with the horror. And I guess we'll maybe go and have it. Gale Strike. Okay, so he didn't actually get to blow us out super hard, which is nice. Still costing us slowly here, though. Again, later on in the game, worst comes to worst, we just got drain or gain 6 in our hand, though. I think I still like just replaying the horror, even though we feel kind of painfully slow here. Opponent's getting all the time walks. Oh, alright, Essence Scatter. That's not great for us. We get like a Drake Haven, we're in a great position too. Can always Final Reward as well. He's not playing any more threats. But between the Vizier and all of our cycling, we have a lot of life gain available. Scribe with Mindful. Okay. So it's not great for us because he can get back any number of pretty good cards. Floodwaters, for instance. So he can sack next turn, get back Gale Strike or Floodwaters. I guess he probably just wants Gale Strike. So maybe it's time to maybe exile the Final Reward. Or use the Final Reward and kill off the Avian Initiate. Maybe we've waited long enough here. Even Mind Sensor. Okay. Pretty reasonable too. I think we're just going to Final Reward now. Our opponent gets another draw step. On the off chance he found something there for the Initiate. Mind Sensor's still a clock for sure. Alright, it's even a little bit bigger clock now, and he gets to bring back the trial. Maybe looking grim for us again. Okay. Replays the trial. Draws a bunch more cards. Hits us for a bunch. Alright, in a rough spot. Again, Drake Haven's still a good out for us. And Bear makes everything worse, though. Floodwaters. So we could just use that and the Seeker of Insight to draw a discard. He just gets to flash this back in again. So we're still going to take some. We save a little bit of life because of the cartouche. I think we play the horror and plan on cycling. We're kind of getting down to it here. He can sack it and get Essence Scatter still with Scribe. Guess we just cast this. if we live long enough, we can compelling argument, maybe mill my opponent out. With the amount of cards he's drawn, it's kind of funny. Assume he stacks here, although might be up to my opponent. He does have to choose what he wants, whether he wants the Essence Scatter or something else. We're not going to use the Seeker because we need to be able to block a Warrior. Alright, drops the Even Mind Sensor. And swings in here. Okay. Not out just yet. I think it is worth holding compelling argument in our hand as long as we can to try and get something out of it. River Serpent's big. Not tons we can do about it. So let's see. I guess let's start out our cycling trip and see what happens here. What we can possibly hit. Problem is you can tap something down for Fanbearer. You need to do that at least once. Wasteland Scorpion. Yeah, I think we just gotta go ahead and cycle this here. Yeah, there's the Drakehaven. Too late, unfortunately, but there it is. So we can then cycle the Horror, but he just taps it down. I think we are just dead here, unfortunately. My opponent swings with River Serpent after tapping down our Seeker. We can tap down 2 creatures too. So we have to get pretty high on life. Yeah, we're just not going to make it, unfortunately. Got close. My opponent would be down to 5, but not close enough. Alright, next match. So my opponent doesn't look like he's on the super beatdown plan. He's a little bit slower. Probably afford to play like Unburden. Trial seemed like it would never have been super great there. Wonder Death seems fine. Maybe Shadow's Storm Vizier is not as great as I feel like it is. It's kind of been unimpressive in a lot of cases here. It requires a couple of cycles in one turn to really get going, although it's still a 1/3 in the air. It blocks a couple of his flyers pretty well with one cycle. What do we want to cut? Yeah, maybe Wander and Death. We don't want 2, probably. Faith of Devoted seemed pretty slow there. Maybe that's not that great either. Horrors actually, well, they still cycle. Still don't hate things that cycle. Obviously, Drakehaven's still kind of the dream. Maybe Essence Scatter's not fantastic against him. He had a lot of things that came back twice. Maybe that's just not what we want to be doing. I think it's still fine. Maybe Seeker. Maybe Seeker's worse. Feels like it's going to be rare we really get value out of it, and it's not going to block very well against his deck. Alright, let's submit. And we'll play. And this hand looks pretty good. Go ahead and keep it. I'm going to cycle the Compelling Argument on turn 1. We do need to find some action. And then next turn, hold up Essence Scatter. Okay, I lied. We're going to play the Shadow Storm Vizier instead. Okay. Do we want to play our Wasteland Scorpion, or do we just want to keep it for a cycling target? Probably just want to keep it as a cycler. This didn't trade fantastically with a lot of his stuff. And I kind of like having Essence Scatter up for another turn. We're going to cycle one of our horrors here when we swing. Okay. Get my opponent for a couple, and then pass the turn with Essence Scatter up and one of our 2-cost cyclings. Probably get rid of the Scorpion over Wandering Death. We can bring back both later on in the game, which may end up being relevant. Yeah, opponent gonna cycle something here. Floodwaters. Okay. And maybe these looking for lands, although I think just cycling when you can is not bad unless you have a lot of cycling payoffs as well. The Initiate. I kind of don't like Essence Scattering it, but I'm going to anyway. Feels a little bit bad, you get some value out of it, but we don't have a real good answer for the 3-2 Vigilance right off the bat either. We're gonna punch my opponent here. And I think we're just gonna cycle for 1, for 2, I guess. And get rid of the Wasteland Scorpion. Like I said, maybe bring back stuff with Wandering Death a little bit later. I guess I should have left both black up. That was a bit of a mistake. Okay, and we have our next black, so don't think we're going to keep cycling anymore anyway. So we want to play our horror next turn. Opponent passing here. Didn't cycle for a land, so he may just not have anything. He may also have a counterspell or the like, which feels a little bit bad if we run the horror into it, but we can get back with Wandering Death too. Gale Strike, okay. So, gets a card. And probably can play land next turn. We're gonna cast the horror. He's used a couple of his bounce spells, so the horror looks better, and on empty board, the horror is truly horrific, so. He could still have cast out. That might be his play here. So we're not going to plan on cycling at all. We'll just play our Wandering Death in the Vizier. Cast this. Bring back our Scorpion or Horror. And we want to leave black up. Alright, and pass back to my opponent here. Okay. Looks like my opponent's tapping for something. Mind Sensor. Okay. Did not wait to flash. Interesting. Or I guess he's doing it at the end of my turn. Haha. It had just been so long he had untapped mana that it felt like it was his main phase. But no. Just getting his value while he could. So the Vizier matches up pretty okay against the Mind Sensor, but not great against the Drake. So I think we're going to swing with the Horror here, and do we play another Horror and just take a little bit of damage in the interim if he comes in with the Drake? Seems okay. Kind of like doing it when he couldn't have any potential counter magic or the like as well. If he doesn't block, I guess we just kill him. It's kind of funny. Yeah, we do have enough. Yeah, okay. Fun's just gonna block. Seems fine. He respects the fact that I could just have a ton of cyclers in hand, which I do. He knows about 2 of them. Well, my opponent's in kind of a bad position too. He has 2 potentially lethal threats. Okay, cycles the River Serpent. Need 1 more land for it. That'd been not a bad draw. Not great, but not bad. Okay. I think he's got to leave him back, yeah. He has a couple of lands, so he might have the bounce spell. But even if he does, we're not terribly off. So with our horrors. Block, block. Yeah, so we'll cycle 1 thing here to make sure that we can kill both. Maybe even cycle 2. We cycle 2 and he bounces it. Do we still have lethal? Not quite. Maybe I should have attacked with both. Oh no, do we? 2. Yeah, never mind, we do still. So probably just go for it. Go ahead and cycle Scorpion. Actually, I guess we'll cycle Scarab Beast very first, since that does not much for us. And we'll cycle Abzir. Get a bajillion triggers and untap 1 of our swamps. I don't really like just going for it here. He's got a bounce spell or something, we can still replay the horror. So I think we're just gonna pass. Kill a couple of things, bring my opponent almost dead, and I think we're in a really good spot next turn. Angler Drake, okay. We do not quite have lethal with that, but he is going to have to chump block it. Okay. So here we play our land for sure. We want to play the horror or Drake even more. Drake even gets us a couple of drakes. That's probably good enough in the air. So we swing with both here and cycle 3 times and kill him either way, I think. Alright, well, one of these days we're going to get to kill a Drake even, but we will definitely take our win here. Alright, that should be enough. Down dead. Okay. Let's go into our game 3. My opponent looks like he had a really pretty rough draw there. We kind of had a pretty good one. But we still haven't seen the Drakehaven true amazingness, so maybe this next game. Alright, well this hand is okay, not fantastic, but I think we're going to keep... If we find a black source, we can start playing our Pitiless Viziers. I think we have a pretty good chance of drawing out of this. We're just very slow. But I think this is keepable. Need to be on my toes with the F6s, I think, here. Okay. And we're just going to cycle main turn here, so we can be good about our clock. Well, we did have a swamp. Did want to hit a swamp. Yeah. And Shadow Storm's a good draw, so. Opponent cycles of Floodwaters. Looks like he had a pretty slow draw as well. Can't quite get the Unburden off, otherwise I would like to do that here. I guess we're just going to cycle the Vizier to get in a couple of pieces of damage. Swing. Cycle our Vizier. And untap the Swamp. Drew Faith the Devoted. So I'm not going to use the cycling. My opponent's got the Gale Strike, he can use it. No. Okay. Next turn we'll play Faith the Devoted. Actually, next turn we'll probably play Pitiless Vizier. And then I'll follow it up. Yeah. So we're just going to attack with our Shadow Storm here. Hit in for 1. And then drop and see what my opponent's got. Definitely have like an even Mind Sensor or something. Just counterspell. Okay. So Faith of the Devoted actually would have been maybe a little better there, but hard to know that beforehand. I don't think we'd see an Essence Scatter from my opponent. Maybe in game 1. I don't remember now. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Faith here. And go ahead and swing. I guess we want to keep cycling away, I think. So we can do this and untap this island. Make sure to get the triggers in the right order there so we can pay for the Faith. Cast out. Okay. Just gonna get rid of my... Oh, no, gonna get rid of the island. Oh, no. Huh, the Faith. Interesting. For some, I saw this trigger and I was like, you can hit the island with this? But no, just non-land permanents. He's gonna get rid of the Faith the Devoted, so we're gonna get 1 glorious trigger out of it. Yes, we would like to drain. We'll poke my opponent for just a little bit more. Nope, Horror's a good draw. Kind of what I'm hoping for. Opponent steadily hitting his land drops. What's he got here? Is that a River Serpent? Angler Drake. That's a good one. Ooh. Do you play our Drake even? I think Horror is just better. I do like Drake even maybe next turn. But if he doesn't have a bounce spell, Horror is just pretty great. He can't block it effectively with the Angler Drake. And even if he does have a bounce spell, it's not the end of the world. Swings. Crunch. So Gale Strike seems most likely to me right here. Okay. That's pretty effective. I'm gonna go ahead and play our Drake Haven and plan on cycling and making a Drake. What do we want to get rid of here? The Wonder and Death is pretty good because it gets a couple of cycling things back, I guess. 2 Viziers. So I'll probably get rid of the Unburdened. Wait. Yeah. Alright, so let's crunch in with our Horror. Yay, we got to play Drake Haven. That's good. Cast the Unburden. Play for Drake Haven. Yes, we would like to pay for ability. And we're just going to have 6 after this. debates on attacking and decides against it. So I guess we're probably gonna go to my attack. We're not really in a position where we want to floodwaters away things, I don't think. So you can just tap it anyway. So let's go to attack. My opponent's not gonna. Or he's gonna block. Tap down the Horror of the Broken Lands, I imagine. I think he'd be kind of silly not to. Yeah, there we go. And we'll play our Shadowstorm Vizier and pass. And plan on making a couple of drakes. Trial of Knowledge is good. And then next turn we'll plan on floodwaterings or floodwatersing away, and hopefully that's just good enough. Well, it's still not in a great position to attack. Yep. So we'll cycle our compelling argument. Okay. Can always yield to that as well. Draw. And then we're going to do the same thing with Wander in Death. Yes, we would. Okay, I think we've got my opponent here. So we're just going to go ahead and play Floodwaters and get rid of the Angular Drake and the Fan Bearer. And should have lethal. Unless my opponent's got a fantastic response, which he might. Even if he does, though, have like a bounce spell, we still get him for a couple points of damage. Okay, alright, so he's just gonna tap that down. And I'm gonna plan on blocking the Horror, I guess. Seems reasonable. Blocks. So my opponent plays Angler Drake next turn, kills the Drake, but we still got 2 to swing in. And we should have the Shadow Storm as well. Gets back Floodwaters. That's true. That's a pretty good play. Although if he plays that, then he's in danger of losing to the Horror as well. And there's a lot of ways my opponent dies here. Okay, cycles. Getting every last little bit of his mana to good use, of course. Alright, yeah, my opponent has had enough. GG's. Yeah, look, it went off with Drakehaven at least once. Seems pretty sweet. Let's go into our match 3 and still hope to turn this into a 2-1.